I'm just going to share with you a couple causes of yeast infections just so you can do your best in trying to avoid them. The most common causes of yeast infection are first, warm and moist climate. This type of climate is good for yeast fungus. The fungus multiplies and makes colonies, which can help the infection become chronic. Hot and humid climates are considered to be one of the most common infection causes. Second is wearing tight clothing. Um, this can be dominant in both male and female yeast infections. Nylon and lycra undergarments also help provoke the infection and help it spread. The third is lubricated and non-lubricated condoms. Um, Condoms used during sexual intercourse increase the chance and can even cause yeast infections in both males and females. Both latex and lubrication can start the onset of fungal activity, which ultimately leads to the development of a yeast infection. Next is excessive and long-time use of antibiotics. Antibiotics are considered one of the major yeast infection causes. The yeast infections caused due to the prolonged use of antibiotics can happen to anyone at any time. The antibiotic-induced yeast infections have to be treated through antifungal medications. That's mostly the most common treatment for those. Next is chemicals, dyes, perfumes, and deodorants. All of these synthetic products play an important role in triggering the allergic reactions that ultimately lead to the onset of a yeast infection. It's also acknowledged that chemicals, dyes, perfumes, and deodorants are ranked amongst the major yeast infection cause. Next is sugar. The more sugar you eat, the more likely you are to occur a yeast infection, and it also plays an important part in one of the symptoms of a yeast infection, which is pain during urination. The more sugar you have, the more painful it is during urination while you have a yeast infection. The last most common cause is a weak immune system. Obviously, poor body immunity leads you to be more susceptible to any yeast infection or any infection for that matter, and that includes yeast infections.